Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a fascinating looking puzzle today. There are two given digits, so that's two more than we've seen in a lot of puzzles lately. But this is going to be good. We're looking at a puzzle by PDN, and that's been recommended to us, so it's not too difficult. Now, we got a very interesting email from one of our biggest benefactor and somebody who really loves the channel. And she was saying that maybe we are focusing so heavily on brilliant Sudoku puzzles that we're putting off newcomers, and that might be a worry. We originally started this sort of second video in the day slot to make sure there was always something for everybody, and maybe we've got away from that. Anyway, let us know what you think if you want. We would be very interested in views, but that was something that interested us and maybe rang a bit of a bell. So we're thinking about that. But we do get sent some brilliant puzzles. We get sent some very highly recommended puzzles. They very rarely let us down when we try to solve them. And it seems, you know, if we let these puzzles not get solved on the channel sometimes, it seems very hard. But there you go. We can only do two a day. I don't think we can go beyond that, frankly. First of all, on Patreon, we still have the Peter C. Hayward Hunt running, the January reward, until the 20th. So do have a go at that. It's proved very popular. We might have something easier for next month because there's been 3 pretty hard ones in a row. But we'll see if that transpires. And of course, you can always get things like our merchandise. Here is my Cracking the Cryptic mug, which I shall be using today. And the apps and etc. The Sudoku pad, they're all on the links under the video. But the first link is to this puzzle, the rules of which are these. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Each coloured area contains no repeated digits, and you can see these 2 purple and green areas are 9 cells large, so they're a region of the cells 1 to 9. Digits in a cage must sum to the number given, so those 2 add up to 7, etc. Digits joined with a black dot must have a 2-to-1 ratio. Oh, digits must not repeat on the main diagonals. I might have forgotten to mention that. So that's a set of the digits 1 to 9. So I think the reason that this puzzle is called Legions of Regions is that, as well as all the rows, columns and boxes, which inherently form regions, we've got 2 marked coloured regions and 2 regions of 1 to 9 along the diagonals. So loads of regions in the puzzle. Yes, these digits must have a ratio of 2 to 1 in some way. So they could be 4 and 8 either way round, or 1 and 2, or 2 and 4, or 3 and 6. Do give it a try on the link under the video. I'm going to have a go now. Let's get cracking. And we've got a 3 cage, so that must contain 2 and 1. And then that looks up to this 7 cage. So that must contain 3 and 4. Those are relatively easy deductions, I think. Then I don't really know. This black dot. Okay, it can't be a 1-2 pair, because then you couldn't fill this cell. If that was 1 and 2, you couldn't fill that. It's obviously not a 3-6 pair, because there's a 3 in its region. So we're only left with 2-4 or 4-8, I think. Yeah, that's right. It must have a 4 in that pair of cells. That's going to reduce the possibilities for the 13 cage to either 5-8 or 6-7. This 2 is looking up the region at this black dot. So, well, I suppose it still leaves... No, 1, 2 and 2, 4 are gone. There's 2 possibilities again. But this time they don't involve the same digits. It's either 4-8 or 3-6. But of course there's a 3 in the diagonal, so one of those is eliminated. That makes me notice there's a 2 on this diagonal, so that can't be a 2, although that doesn't stop this being a 4, so I've got to be careful there. This 13 also can't have a 4 in it, just like this one, so again the same possibilities. This 11 only has 2 possibilities because of the 2 and the 3 being in the same box. That must be 4-7 or 5-6, and we know which way around the 4-7 would be because of this 3-4 pair. So those are all the basic deductions, I think. Interesting. Where does 2 go in this green region? That is a good question. That 2 says it's not in those cells. The 2 that must appear in this box says it's not in those cells. It can't be there because of the diagonal. So 2, it can't be there because of the diagonal. So it's actually only got one place. That's rather pretty. So that gives us a 4 here. 1 and 2 in that cage. Now, can I do the same? Yes, I can do the same with 3s in purple. That 3 says no 3 there. The 3 that must appear here says no 3 there. This 3 on the diagonal says no 3 there. So this was all a bit more straightforward than I was making out how to complete the black dots. And they're completely done now. What else has that taught us? Right, 3 and 3. We get a 3 in one of these cells. 2 and 2, we get a 2 in one of these. There's more symmetry about this puzzle than I'd appreciated. That often works. 6 there can come out of that 13 cage possibility. What about this? It can't be 3-4 because neither cell can be a 3. So again, there's sort of 1.5 possibilities. It's either a 2-5 cage, or if it's a 1-6 cage, we know which way round they go. The trouble is now I've looked at all the markings and put something in everywhere, and I haven't got very far. Okay, but that's all right. We're going to figure out how to progress. Maybe the regions, 3, 2 and 4. Right, 1 can't be in those cells. Is it interesting that 1 and 4 can't be in these, so they must... 4 in the central box. Quite interesting, but that 4 says it's not in those green cells. That 4 says it's not in the white ones, so it's in one of the 2 purple ones. And again, in fact, yes, now I can put it in column 6. That's weird. You can't have a 4 there because of that one. Now you can't have a 4 here because of the green 4. And that's ooh, what happened there? Sorry, that may not have done anything to you, but it did something to my screen. Hope that's not a problem. This 4 is also saying it can't be there, so we can put a 4 in here. Then we're going to get a 4 in one of these cells. That's not interesting yet. 1, 2, 4, 3. I was wondering about 1 in green, but I can't see what it's done. Okay, I don't quite know. The diagonal's not really yielding a lot. 1 on the diagonal? No, I don't think so. 3, 6, 2. 4 is in one of these. So these are from 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but that's quite a large population. Now, with diagonal Sudokus, something one should do occasionally is check for numbers that aren't on diagonals in some boxes. So if you can find a repeated number in those cells and those cells, for instance, you know it goes on the diagonal in the central box, but not really seeing much. Sorry, I'm gonna have to find something else to do in this puzzle in a moment. 3, 4, 1, 2. This isn't a 6. That's not interesting. Wow, okay. I need to somehow ones. Okay. One of those only can be a 1. We need a 1 in both green and purple. Those can't have a 1. So purple is going to get a 1 either there or in those cells. I don't know, I don't think that's doing much. No, not 1s. 2s. Wow, this is an intriguing moment in the puzzle. I'm not sure what I meant to do at all. Oh, 6 is in purple, so that's not a 6-7 pair. Oh, wakey, wakey. Right, 5 is ruled out of this cell. This also is in purple. It can't be a 6. And now we've definitely got a 5 in those purple cells. That has become a 4. That took a long time. Right. So now we've only got 1, 7 and 9 to put in the purple cells. So that one is 1 or 9. These two can be either. One of them must be a 7. 6 in this box is in one of those two. 3, 4, 5, 8, 2, 6. Gosh, there was a lot more help going on there than I realised. 4 down here is now in one of those two. It can't be there because of the diagonal. And also 4 up here can't be in any of those cells by ordinary Sudoku, and those ones by the diagonal, so it's in one of those two. Doesn't do everything. Now, what about 1 again? 1 can't be in those cells. So the 1 in the central box is in a colour. If it's not in green, if that's a 1, the green 1 is going to have to be there. Is that a problem? Doesn't seem to be a problem. I mean, it would really help in box 2, but I just can't. Again, stuck again. Probably looking at missing something blindingly obvious yet again. Right, no, 3 on the diagonal, it's already there. Ooh. Tempted by looking at 3 on the other diagonal, but it doesn't seem to do much. This one now has become 5, 8 or 9. It can't be a 6. Now, 6 in the central column there, this can't be a 6 because of that. 6 in the central column is in one of those two cells, which is slightly interesting because it rules out a 6 in these two cells, because that would be a 6 in green, which would rule them out. That would be a 6 in box 5, which would rule them out. So now 6 in row 7 must be in one of those cells, which is a strange old relationship. 7 in green must be in one of those cells, because that 7 takes care of everything else. Whatever this is must be in one of those 3 cells in green, 5 or 8. Oh, we're nearly getting... Oh, if these can't be 6... Oh, that's brilliant. I've just worked it out with 6s. If those can't be 6... Yeah, let's just take out the last 2 moves. With these 2 not being able to be 6... Oh, that's brilliant. Therefore, these 2 can't be 6 for the 2 different reasons I gave. But if those 2 can't be 6, where is 6 in box 5? It's only there. So those 2 being 6 rather brilliantly then forces only one of them to be 6. Now where's 6 in green? Ah, well, like 7, it's in these cells. 4, 2, 3, 6, 7. So this is from 5, 8 or 9. So well, no, 1, 5, 8 and 9 could be in here. That's really interesting with the 6. That's a position I don't think I've seen before in quite that way. 3, 4. Hasn't really cleared everything up, has it? 4-2 pair there, 4-2 pair there, but not necessarily a 4-2 pair because 2 could be in either cell. In any of those 3 cells is what I'm trying to say. Wow, this has got some oddities, this particular puzzle. Now, if that had to be 6 or 7, this would become a 5-8 pair. Maybe I need to study this diagonal yet again. That can't be a 6. That's quite interesting because of the 6 on the diagonal. So in fact, 6 in green is now in one of those 2 cells. For definite. I don't know what that does. 1, 2, 4, 6, 3. So this is from 5, 7, 8, or 9. We're verging on getting a quadruple in this column. Ah, the 1 in green. I've put off thinking about the 1s again and again. Now, that could be 1. And I don't think that then tells me where it is in purple. So actually that leaves some flexibility. But if 1 is in one of those cells... No, again, that just leaves 1 being in one of those. It doesn't quite resolve everything. You're probably spotting something here ahead of me. 9 is in one of those 2. Okay, this is exactly the same as with the 6. In the middle column, I worked out the 6 is in one of those 2 cells. It resolved issues here. Now look at 9. 9's in one of those 2 cells. And either way, this is not a 9. That's really clever, because if 9's here, we've got the 9 in green. If 9's here, we've got the 9 in box 5. So those can't be 9's. Now we get, it's different from the 6. We don't get to know exactly where 9 goes as a result, but we get a 1, 5, 8 triple now in column 6. That is really elegant. What a puzzle. I can see why this is recommended. So 1, 5, 8, 3, 4, 2. That's 6, 7, or 9. These are from 1, 5, and 8. 9 must be now in one of these 2 cells in box 5. That on its own doesn't seem incredibly helpful. I wish I knew what the middle digit in this puzzle was. 3. This is a 1, 5, 8 triple, but that's not a 1. So the 1 is in one of these 2 places. And that takes up the 1 in box 5. This is like Tigger. It just keeps bouncing back and back. Beautiful. Now that's a 5-8 pair, and we do know where the 9 goes in the central column. That makes this a 7 and this a 6. Oh, brilliant. Now, this is a 3, 8, 5 triple. That can't be 7 anymore. The 7 in green is resolved. This is 5 or 8. These are from 3, 5, and 8. If that was a 5, 8... this is a 5, 8 pair because we've got the 7 there. And that makes this a 3. Perfect. So, 5, 8, 4, 3 to 7. This is a naked pair. That must be a 1 and 3 because they see 5 digits in their box and 2 of the other 4 in the row. So 6, 9 become a pair separated from each other there. Now this diagonal, 4, 7, 2, 3, 6 and a 5, 8 pair. So we must have a 1, 9 pair in these 2 cells. And that means we know what this is because we've got a 1, 9 pair in the box. This is brilliant. Right, so we've got that cage done. We've got almost all the cages done, just 2 to resolve the 5, 8 order. And what next in this puzzle? Oh, no, we don't know those. Still don't know the middle digit quite. 1, 5, 8 is a triple there. So this is 2 and 9 up here. Then we can write in 6 here. and we've got a 1-7 pair, but that 9 is in purple, so we finish off the other purple cells apart from those two. And that becomes a 1. There we go. So 6-3 pair there, 6-3 pair there. 3 and 6 must be in these two. This becomes a 4. It's a sort of naked single. 5, 7 and 8 in those three. That one can't be a 5. This is now a 3, 9, 6 triple, which doesn't include a 4. So the 4 in the box goes here, which is going to give us a 4 in one of those two cells. That 9-2 pair is resolved. There's probably quite a lot of things have popped out, and I'm just waiting for me to spot that I've done them. So I've done tons on the positive diagonal, very little on the negative diagonal. So down here, these are from 1, 6, 7 and 9. That's really scummy pencil marking. But I'm still going to do it here as well. 2, 4, 5 and 8. This one can't be 2 or 5. This one can't be 4. This also can't be 4. Ah, the only place for 4 in this row, weirdly, is here, thanks to the diagonal, because that 4 rules a 4 out from that cell. So there must be a 2 in one of those. That 4 gives us 4 in one of those, little X-wing that will have to be resolved later. 7, 2, 5, 7 and 8 are the possibilities here. I'm beginning to think I might get some sort of weird quintuple or sextuple on the diagonal. Oh, 6 on the diagonal. 6 on the diagonals in one of those two cells. That's beautiful. That is true, and it is beautiful. Look at the... Right, I'm just going to check this is right. 6 can't be here because of that. It can't be here because of that. Also there. It can't be here because of that. Can't be here because of that one. Can't be there because of that one. So 6 is in one of those two cells on the diagonal. And look, they both see this cell. So if one of those on the diagonal is a 6, this isn't. And that's another really pretty diagonal deduction. So that's now a 1, 6, 7 triple. That is not a 9 because of the 9 we put in down here. That's not a 2. 2, 7, 4. That 6 says that's not a 6. These are from 1, 5, 7 and 8. And now I'm really thinking, yeah, isn't that 1, 2, 5, 7, 8? That is a quintuple. Okay, the simpler way of getting at this is asking where does 9 go on this diagonal? If you've been shouting that at the screen, pat yourself on the back because you're very smart. So 9 goes here, but then we can ask where does 3 go on the same diagonal? There's only one place apparently, it's here. Then we can ask where does 6 go? And the way I got through those was spotting this quintuple of 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, which is weird but was very helpful. But it gets quite a few digits placed in places that were otherwise a bit detached, so it could be very useful. That 3, for instance, fixes this 9, 6 triple. Then we're going to get a 9 in one of those two, a 6 in one of those two. 6, 4, 2, 1, 7, 9. We've definitely, we've got to find a 3 in this row, and we're going to put it there because it can't be anywhere else. Oh, here comes the drilling. That's very bad timing, just as I'm getting towards the end of this. That 1 has fixed 7 and 1. 7. I mean, you can criticize my scanning, but I don't know what I'm meant to be looking for at the moment. So I'm not scanning particular things. I'm just trying to find items that are helpful. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2. And that's run dry a bit. Now, let's have another think about this diagonal. 1, 2, 5, 7, 8. 2 places for 1 only. That rules a 1 out of there, but that's not actually... Yes, actually, no, it doesn't help with that. But 1s are now confined to a sort of X-wing there. So there's a 1 in one of those cells. 5, 8 pair. There we go, looking at that cell. So that's where 2 is. That 2 comes out of here. That places 2 in row 2 for me. Now, 7 on this diagonal now has to be in one of these 2 cells. So that's not a 7. Still don't know where 1 goes there. That 2 gives us 2 in one of these. 49 with 6. This is a naked single. Good grief. Thanks to this pencil marking, where I've put into box 4 the only possible cells for 4, 2, 9, 1 and 6. Suddenly I can notice that 7, 3 and 5 are also all looking at this empty cell. So that is a naked single 8, which I might not have picked up without the pencil marking. That looks down here. 5 and 8. Isn't there another 5, 8 pair? I can take 8 out of those. Oh, that's the other 5, 8 pair. That's not resolved yet. But 8 on this diagonal must be in the central box. So one of those is 8 and that's not. Doesn't fix everything yet. This 5, 8 pair, which was so helpful, leaves me a 4, 6, 9 triple. 1 must be here. 8, 7, 8, 5. This is a naked single 2. So that fixes 2 over here. That's probably the last 2 in the grid done. This is 1 or 9 and this is 1 or 6. And that triple is as useful as a chocolate teapot. That's a 1, 5, 7 triple, so this is 8. That makes this 7. That's going to give us 1 pair there and another pair here in the box is a 3, 7 pair. That's not a 7. That hasn't finished off all the 5, 8s. 79. This is a 1, 5, 6 triple, which is actually very useful in the column because it makes this not a 1. That becomes a 9. That makes this a 6. Does this 6, 4, 9 triple? That makes this a 1. Bounces straight back into the triple that started us off there. This is not a 9. We've got 4, 3 and 7 to place. That's not a 4, so we can put 4 in. And a 3, 7 pair. And now it's probably up to the diagonal to finish us off. This can't be a 5. Got a 1, 8 pair. Something here. That can't be a 5. And this can't be a 7. Right, so there we go. That is going to finish everything, I believe. He said confidently, wading into it and hoping he was right. Yes, this diagonal now, 296, it needs... That 5 has fixed the central cell, finally. The central cell is so often the first thing you get on a diagonal. It's quite entertaining to have a diagonal puzzle where it's absolutely not. I have no idea how long this green 5 has been looking at that cell. That could be a bit embarrassing. I forgot the colours for a long time in this puzzle, I'm afraid. And we finish off in the 13 cage. There we go. That is a really clever puzzle by PDN. No surprise that got recommended to us. Excellent stuff. And I really enjoyed that. I do hope you had a go. Hard? Well, none of the individual steps were incredibly hard. There was some really pretty stuff with the 6s and the 9s there, fixing where they went in the central box. That was really nice. But yeah, medium hard, I guess, but really enjoyable. Thanks, PDN. Well done. And thank you for watching as ever. Hope to see you soon again on the channel. Bye for now.